I will do some refreshment on the previous lecture, right? Our previous lecture is about the introduction, okay, to OOP and the software development. Okay, for your information, let me record right. Okay. Yes, I mentioned in previous class, okay, for OOP, it is about solving a problem. Okay, means that you have to solve a problem, you have to develop a program. And then before you develop a program, means that you are going to develop a complete system, okay, to solve a problem. And then how to solve the problem, okay, you first of all, you have to um, what to do the design phase. Okay, what is the design phase? Sorry, it is about the what? The it's like a plan, okay, for you to before you start the what typing the coding. Okay, so means that you have to draw the flow chart or maybe you write the pseudo code. Okay, well, talking about drawing. Okay, how to draw? Okay, means that you have to follow the UML. You remember UML? You have to follow the UML standard on how to draw on the design of your program. Okay, to do that, okay, uh, related to the referring to the UML means that you have to rely on the concept of object, okay, object-oriented programming. So that's why you have to understand what is classes, okay, what is objects, okay, and then yeah, we already go through all these things, right? On the class, the objects, and then you already look at on the how to represent the graphical representation of a class in what is the class diagram, okay? And then you already look at the syntax on declaring a class in Java, okay? And then until here. Okay, we already go through about the how to what to declare the attributes, right? So now let me do the revision on the what on the object and the class. Okay, so as you can see here, so this is the diagram. Okay, a diagram of an object with the class name. Okay, so if you state on this side, on the left side here, means that it is related to the object name. Okay, and then on the right side, on here, okay, on the right side here, it is a class name. Okay, so to represent in a in a what in a figure or in a diagram, so you have to write as you have to draw as this. You draw a rectangle. In the rectangle symbol, you have to state the object name. Okay, and then don't forget the colon symbol, and then followed by the class name. Okay, so means that this object, the SV198, referring to the is referring to the class name bank account. Okay, so this is about object and class. Okay, next is about the on how to declare. Okay, So when we say that how to declare objects, when we talk about declaring, okay, or declaration means that it is related to the Java. Okay, it is related to the Java language. So what is the syntax? You have to refer as this, as it is like when you learn in maybe in a before this you learn in C. Okay, so you have to look at the syntax given here. On modifier, it is as example, it is stated as public or private. Later on, you will know what is public and what is private. And then followed by the class name. Okay, so for example here, bank account is the class name, and then the object name is the SV198. And don't forget about the semicolon symbol. Okay, so this is the example of the declaration statement in Java. Okay, next. Okay, before we go to the next, so this is the modifier. Okay, yeah, in form of public, and then the motorcycle here is the class name, and then my motor and his motor are two objects under motorcycle. Okay, so my motor is one object and his motor is the other object. And then to what in the for this example, there are since we declare of two objects under one class. Okay, so you have to use the comma symbol to separate these two objects. Okay, that and the line with the semicolon symbol. Okay, this is about the declaration statement. Declaration statements of objects. And next is about the attributes. So what is attributes? Attributes is the it's like the how to say the characteristics of the object. Okay, for example here, a bank account is the class, okay, and then the minimum balance and current balance is the the attributes, okay, means that under bank account, okay, under class bank account, okay, there are two attributes. There are minimum balance and current balance. And then the other example, on the class network interface card, there are three attributes, okay, that are MAC address, connection status, and maximum speed. Okay, sometimes, okay, instead of we call it as attributes, okay, we also call it as data members, okay, data members or variables, okay. So this is the syntax in Java. Okay, how to declare and define classes and attributes. One under class bank account. So this is the modifier type of public, and these two are the attributes. Okay, for minimum balance is in a type of float. Okay, the value for minimum balance is a type of float. Also same as with the current balance, the value is a type of float also. Okay, so here different with the network interface card class. Okay, there are the attributes with there are three different types of attributes. Okay, um, the, for example, MAC address, it is in the type of string. Connection status in the type of INT, and the MAC speed types. Okay, the MAC speed value type is in type of float. Okay, so there it is the example on how you declare and define the classes and the attributes. Let me, this is another example. Okay, so we just go to the today's part, okay, on methods. What is methods? Okay, methods is like the a function. Okay, as I mentioned before in the previous class, it is a function of an object. So it refers to the task that the object can do. Okay, for example here, on bank accounts, okay, bank account we know that it is a class name. Okay, and the minimum balance and current balance, it is the what the attributes. Okay, it is the attribute of bank account. And then for the get balance and the deposit amount are the methods. Okay, so methods, as you can see here, the symbol after the method's name, okay, you state the blank bracket symbol. It can be in a form, it can have the blank bracket, or it can have within a bracket there is a name, there is there is an argument, okay, argument name, okay, argument name for for the method, okay, for the method. For example, here deposit method, deposit name I'm sorry, the method name deposit, okay, it has the argument name as amount, okay. So this is the example, one example. And another example, okay, on network interface card, it is a class name, and there are three attributes that are MAC address, connection status, maximum speed. Okay, and then the method of network interface card, it is the reset connection with the blank bracket. Okay. So this is the methods of an object. So you have to remember, you should have object, you should have a class, and then once you already define the class and the objects, then you have to define what are the attributes, okay, of the class, and then what are the methods of the class or an object. Okay. So this is how you define, okay, how you define methods in Java. That's right. This is you declare the class name, okay, bank account, and then these are the attributes of the class bank account, okay, and then followed by the method of the class bank account. Okay, we have fruit get balance, and then we have void deposit, float amount. Okay, as you can flashback, it is related to the topic on function in C programming. Okay, this is okay. Next, okay, what is message and methods? Okay, so message, okay, it is to instruct a class or an object to perform a task. Okay, we send a message. Okay, we send a message to the class or object. You can send a message only to the classes and objects that understand the message you send to them. Okay. And a class or an object must possess a matching method. It must match, okay, must possess a matching method to be able to handle the received message. And a method, okay, a method defined for a class is called a class method. Okay, and a method defined for an object is called an instance method. So it means that there are two types of methods that are class method and instance method. Okay, next one. Next, it is stated that a value we pass to an object when sending a message is called an argument of the message. Okay, a value, okay, a value that we pass to an object when sending a message is called an argument of the message. So this is a table, okay, a table to differentiate the class methods and instance methods. So now let's look at what is class method. A class method, it belongs to the class, okay, whereas instance method belongs to instance of a class, okay, instance of a class. And then next, for the class method, it use the keyword static, whereas instance method, no static keyword, okay. And then next, for class method, okay, it invoke using class name, okay. But then for instance method, invoke using instance name, okay. And then for the class method, okay, the task that relates to all instance, okay, it is the task that relates to all instance of the class collectively. Okay, this is about class method. So it means it belongs to a collective of an object. Okay, or and of belongs to a collective of a class. Okay. Whereas the instance method is the task that relates uniquely to individual instance. Okay, it is specific. Okay, it is specific, relates to the individual instance. That is about instance method. So how is it? So let's look at this. Okay, this is the Java coding. Okay, so this is the declaration of a class named bank account with the two attributes. Okay, in a type of float. Okay, and then here, okay, just now remember we talk about method. Okay, we want to understand what is class method and what is the instance method. So here, okay, remember static int stat minimum in the bracket int amount. Okay, so static is the what? Class method. Okay, remember the characteristics of class method is this. Okay, this is the description of class method, and this is the description of instance method. Okay, here. Okay, so this is what for this method set minimum, it just relates to the class method. Okay, and then we have get balance. Okay, and then we have deposit balance. So means that all this, okay, relates to the what? To the class bank account. Okay, this method belongs to the class bank account. Okay, next, this is the illustrations, okay, using a diagram. Okay, as you can see here, okay, a term of sending a message. Okay, a term of sending a message, what is it? Okay, let's say we want to deposit 250 ringgit, okay, to the account name SV198. Okay, bank account is the class name, and the SV198 is the object name under bank account. Okay, let's say this is Akmal. Okay, Akmal's account number. Okay, Akmal's account number. Okay, and then we can have, okay, we can have like Nurul Fasni's account number. Okay, and then maybe we can have what how to pronounce Lata, how to pronounce your name, Lata
Laptanathon.
Latanaton. Okay,
Uh,
you are Siamese, is it?
yes.
Okay, Latanaton. So I call you Latanaton.
Mm.
Okay, all right. So then
Được rồi, đi về.
then okay, then you see here the description here. Message deposit with the argument. Okay, this is the argument. Okay, you see here. This is the argument. Okay, within the bracket here, it is an argument. Okay. So message deposit with the argument 250 ringgit, okay, is sent to a bank account object S3198. Okay. So this method, okay, it is called as calling a method. Okay, the sending message process, it is called a calling method. So let's look at this diagram. Okay, as you can see, okay, it is stated that ask for the current balance of this particular account. To get current balance is a method name. Okay, and then the SV198 is the object name of bank of a class bank account. Okay, class name bank account. So this process, okay, means that sending a message and getting an answer. Okay, you send this it's like send commands to this, okay, to what? To get the value of current balance, and then the current balance will be this process. It is like getting an answer from this object. Okay, so the current balance of SB198 is returned. Okay, next. This is calling a class method. Okay, let's say the class method name is get maximum speed. And this is a class, okay, a class name mobile robot. Okay, ask for the maximum possible speed for all mobile robot objects is returned. Okay, so get, okay, this is the process of getting value under method name of get maximum speed, and the value of the maximum speed is returned to this method. Okay. Okay, okay, class and instance data values. Okay. For this, okay, it's stated that an object is comprised of data values and methods. Of course, okay, an object comprised of data values and methods. That's why when we talk about when we talk about data values, okay, is represent of the instance, okay, it represents the instance, and methods belongs to the task, okay, functions of an object. Okay, an instance data value is used to maintain information specific to individual instance. Okay, this is the meaning. Okay, instance data value is used to maintain information specific to individual instance. For example, each bank account object maintains its balance. Okay, so the balance is the instance data value. The instance, the value of balance is means that instance data value. And a class data value is used to maintain information shared by all instances or aggregate information about the instance. Okay, when we talk about class means it belongs to all of the objects. Okay, but then for the instance, it is stated, it refers to the specific instance individually. Okay, for example, minimum balance, okay, is the information shared by all account objects, whereas the average balance of all bank account objects is an aggregate information. Okay, for example, as this. This, okay, we have the bank account is the class name, okay, and SV129, SV098, and SV211 are the object names. Okay, for the current balance, okay, current balance, okay, belongs to the what? To the class, to the class bank account. Okay. But the value, instance value is what? Refers to the respective object's name. For example, for SV129, the value, the current balance value is 908.55. Okay, and then the value for current balance of SV098 is 1304.98. And then the value for current balance of SV211 is 354. Okay, so this is this is the instance data value. Okay, that refers to the SV211. Okay, and this one is the instance data value that refers to SV098, and this data value is 908.55 refers to the is the instance data value that refers to SV129. Okay, this is the sample class data value. As you can see here, this is the symbol, the icon of class name of bank account. And the minimum balance is the attributes, right? The attributes that belongs to the class bank account. Okay? And under this class means that means that the value of minimum balance for all the objects under class bank account should be 100. Okay, now we have how many objects? We have three objects. We have SV129, and we have SV098, and we have SV211. Okay, so there are three different objects. Okay, under class name bank account. Okay. Then we have what? We have instance name. Okay, current balance. Okay, and the instance data value for the respective. Sorry, I just got a call from Muhammad Akmal. Muhammad Akmal, are you in this line? Muhammad Akmal ada tak? Ada. Okay, you punya number lain kau? Yang you WhatsApp saya ke? Okay, so nanti saya masukkan number you dalam group. Tolong ni kejap, Akmal you reply your parents ke ni yang call saya? You tolong message sekejap. Okay. Tapi nanti saya masukkan. Okay, thank you. Alright, class, sorry, we continue. Here, right? Okay, on sample data class. Okay, on sample class data value, sorry. Okay, for the current balance, okay, it is the what? It is the instance value, okay, instance value for the specific object name. Okay, for example, it represents the value of SP129, and for this one, okay, for the value of 908.55, it represents the instance value of SB129, and this one, the value, the instance value for SB098 is 1304.98, and this one, okay, for value SB211 is the 354. Okay, so this the meaning, okay, of the explanation just now, on this explanation on the what is the class and instance data values. Okay, so this one, okay, this one is the object icon with class data value. So this is the class, okay, it is a class. Okay, how to, let's say, okay, to draw, I mean the how to say, the format, okay, we can say it is a format to draw a class or to illustrate a class. Okay, you may draw as this, okay, you draw as this, like a square here, and then you divide into two parts. Okay, on the top one, okay, you state the what the object name and also the class name. Okay, and then the bottom here, okay, you write the what the instance or the attributes of the class and the objects. Okay, so minimum balance, you know, it is the what the attributes of the class bank account, and the current balance is the what is the what the instance value of the object SV129. Okay, as you can see here, the statement stated that when the class icon is not shown, we include the class data value in the object icon itself. So what does it mean? So you refer back to this, okay, to this diagram. So these are the this is the class diagram. Okay, class diagram. You have the class name, and then you have the attributes of the class. Okay, of the class, the bank account. So this is the what the value. Okay, the instance value or the attributes value of a class. Okay, of the class bank account. Okay, and so means that this instance value is the class data value. Okay, when we talk about class data value, means that it belongs to this value, the minimum balance value. Okay, it belongs to the all objects under class bank account. Okay, so just now this diagram is it shows that, okay, whenever there is no illustration of class, okay, of a class of bank account, so you have to, you can draw in one single class, okay, but then in the what, in the parts of the attributes, okay, you have to include the class data value, okay, and also the what, the object, okay, object data value. So means that you have both here in this part. Okay, just now, as you can see, when you draw as this with a class, and then you have the what, the object, okay, objects, okay, then for the instance or attributes that referring to each of the objects, you state under this, under separate objects, okay, and the respectively. Okay, but then for the attributes that belongs to a class or to the class, okay, the attribute should be stated under the class, okay, under the class icon. Okay, so this is the meaning. And for the object icon with class data value. Can you understand? Boleh faham tak? So you kena faham, you have to know, okay, you have to understand how to draw a class diagram. Okay, so how to list down the attributes. Okay, how to with the diagram. Okay, when you draw a class diagram, you can it can give a meaning. Okay, this class, okay, has what? Has attributes of minimum balance and class balance. Okay, if you draw only this individually object, so we know that on top of here it is the attribute that belongs to the class, and down here it belongs to the object. Down here on the current balance is the instance that belongs to the object of SV129. Okay, finish on that. Okay, now let's look at on the constructors. So what is constructors? Okay, constructors. Okay, a constructor is the what is um and how to say an error here. Yeah, the constructor is also known as a method of a class. Okay, a method. Okay, a method of a class. Remember what is a method? It's like a function. Okay, a behavior of the class. Okay, a constructor also a method of a class. Okay, it's also a method of a class, but has special features. Okay, what are the features? Okay, first, it will only be used once in an object's lifetime. Okay, it can be called or invoked when an object instance is first created. Second features, it has the same name as the class name. And the third features, it does not have a return value. So how to represent in a diagram? You can draw as this. Okay, for example, coordinate is the class name. X, Y is the attributes. Okay, and below here, okay, coordinate, set X value, set Y value are the methods. Okay, meaning that under class coordinate, there are two attributes which are X and Y, and it has three methods. Okay, one of it is coordinate. The second method is set X value, and the last method is set Y value. So whenever you see, okay, under methods types here, when you see the names of methods, okay, when you see one of the methods name is similar, okay, is similar to the class name as this coordinate. Coordinate means that it is a constructor. Okay, it is a constructor. So meaning that it can invoke an object instance, okay, when it is first created. And remember, within the bracket, it is the argument. The argument value for attributes for the method set X. This one value is the argument name for the method of set Y. Okay. So now let's look at what is inheritance. Okay. As you know just now, in general, okay, in general you already know that okay, one class will have one or few objects. Okay, then under class or under objects. Okay, I mean and a class or an object. Okay, might have few attributes. Okay, might have one or few attributes. Okay, so means that a class also have its own attributes, and the objects also it has its own attributes. Okay, so when you see when you in general, okay, you can say that okay with the how to say with the hierarchy of objects. Okay, you can have one or class with one or many objects. Okay, with the structure of that, you can see that it is a term. Okay, it is a term of inheritance. Okay, so what is inheritance? It's a mechanism in object-oriented programming or OOP to design two or more entities that are different but share many common features. Okay, features common to all classes are defined in the superclass. Okay, the classes that inherit common features from the superclass are called subclass. Okay, we also call the superclass as an ancestor, and the subclass we call it as descendant. Okay, remember. We have what we inheritance, we have superclass and we have subclass. Okay, we have superclass and we have subclass. Superclass is the ancestor and the subclass is the descendant. Okay, so this is the example of a sample inheritance. Okay, the account, okay, the account here is a superclass. Okay, and checking and saving is the subclasses of account. Okay, so this account is the superclass. So meaning that, okay, as you can see here, okay, this is the superclass, and the checking and saving is the what is the subclasses. So meaning that each of these classes, okay, can have their own attributes. Account can have its own attributes. Okay, checking and saving also can have their own attributes. Okay, it can have their own attributes. It can have their own objects. Okay, so that is the basic concept of OOP. Okay, and next is another example of inheritance hierarchy. Let's say here, student is the superclass. Okay, and then under categories of student, we might have undergrad student and we might have graduate students. Okay, so for each of the types of students, okay, whether it is under undergraduate programs or graduate programs, each of the programs might have its own specific courses, or you can say sub-programs. Okay, for example, undergraduate, we can have a type of master's, or we can have a type of doctoral, or we can have a type of law. Okay, undergrad, we might have commuting, and we might have, undergrad, we might have community and we might have resident. So this is the subclasses of community, and residence is the subclasses of undergrad. Undergrad is the superclass of commuting and resident. Okay, as well as this, for the master's, doctoral, law are the subclasses of graduate, and the graduate is a superclass of master's, doctoral, and law. Okay, and then for the superclass of graduate and undergraduate is student, and the graduate and undergrad is the subclasses of student. Okay, so this is the inheritance hierarchy. Okay. So next, okay. Actually, okay, when we say that we have to use UML. UML is a tool to illustrate the object-oriented programming. Okay, and actually UML is under field of software engineering. Here it stated what? It stated that much like building a skyscraper, we need a disciplined approach in developing complex software applications. And the software engineering is the application of a systematic and disciplined approach to the development, testing, and maintenance of a program. In this class, we will learn about on how to apply sound software engineering principles when we develop sample programs. It means that OOP it is related to the software engineering field. Okay, so what I mean is when we want to develop a program, it's like we develop a complete system. Okay, to develop a complete system, we have to what to follow a few stages. Okay, a few stages of and the stages is a form of cycle. Okay, so here there is what the how to say principles here. The sequence of stages from conception to operation of a program is called software life cycle. So there are 5 stages. Okay, when you want to develop a system, okay, you have to follow these 5 stages. First, you have analysis. First you have to undergo with the analysis phase, and then next, okay, you have to undergo the design phase, and then next, after design, you do the coding, and then testing, and then finally operation and maintenance. So analysis is like the planning stage. Okay, planning and analysis the requirement to develop a complete system. Then design, in this case, for the OOP, we draw the all the class, all the objects, okay, using the standard of UML. Okay. Then next, you develop the coding, okay, using the Java programming language. Okay, in this course, okay, for this course, okay, for the OOP, you use Java programming language. Then after you create the program, okay, then you do the testing to find to get the output, whether you get the right output or you get the wrong output. And then you have to undergo with the operation and the maintenance, okay, to make the system stable. Okay, that's about the concept of OOP. Okay, and then before that, any questions that related to OOP? Okay, if no, then we go to the next topic that related to the Java. And Java, you already learn with Dr. Alsheh, right? How to create a Java program. So this is the this lecture, okay? This lecture notes, okay? This slide shows explain the concept of introduction to Java, okay? Java program, okay? Okay, let's look at for Java, okay, Java as usual, you have to understand the basic components of Java programs, okay. You have to know how to write the simple Java programs. Once you know the syntax of Java, okay, Java programs, then you have to know how to do the how to write the object declaration and creation, okay, and then how to process, okay, the Java programming to for the for the OOP concept, okay, using Java, okay. And then these are the objectives for this slide, okay. So this is now let's look at for the first Java program. So okay, the fundamental OOP concept illustrated by the program of it is use a concept of objects. Okay, this program displays a window on the screen. So this is the simple, okay, simple concept of OOP. Okay, illustrate on the illustrate with a program that use objects. Okay, here this line, okay, stated that this program displays a window on the screen. Okay, and the size of the window is set to 300 pixels wide and 200 pixels high. Its title is set to my first Java program. So this is the program in Java. Okay, so this is how you write to represent this problem. Okay, so as you can see, class, okay, is the ch2 sample 1 is the class name, and this is the public static void mainstream. This is the arguments for the the attributes of ch2 sample 1. Okay, you declare a name of my window. Okay, so JFrame is what? Okay, from this, okay, as you can see here, the JFrame is the object. My window is what? Under ch2 sample, we have what? We have subclass, okay? Subclass my window. And then under my window, we have an object named JFrame. So these are the methods, okay? Methods to set the object, object descriptions or characteristics. Okay, my window dot set size is a method name. Okay, for what? For my window. Okay, so this is the argument value, the value, and this is to set a title, my first Java program on of a window, and if it is true, okay, then it will will create a window stated with a title, my first Java program. Okay, so this is the object declaration. You have the object name, and then you have the class name, and you have the argument name. Okay, so my window is the object name. Okay, and then the JFrame is the class name. Is subclass for the just now ch what this one ch2 sample 1. Okay, JFrame is the class name, and my window is the object name. The object name of my window is object name of JFrame. Okay, this is another example. Account is the class name. Customer is the object name. Student is the class name. John, Jim, John is the object name. And vehicle is the class name. And car 1, car 2 is the object names. Okay. Right. This is the object creation. Okay. how to create. So this is the object name and this is the class name, okay, and this is the argument. So how to, this is the example for this, how to say the syntax here. Customer equals to new customer, okay. Customer, uh, and then we have what? We have the we have John, and then we have new student, and we have John Java. This is argument. So you have to remember whatever in within the bracket is the argument. Okay, and then this is the class name, customer student vehicle, and customer John car. What is the object name? Okay, so this is about the object creation. Okay, we stop here. Okay, I will continue this. Okay, I will upload in a video form, and then you may refer to the classroom. Okay, the video for the remaining what the for the complete explanation for this topic.